Hey guys, have you ever wanted to take Chinese food and put it on the grill? I did it this week. Hang out with us, grab a pen and paper, grab a donut, grab a cup of coffee, and come on back, take some notes, and we're going to tell you how to do some awesome chicken and broccoli on the grill. What's happening, Culinary Crusaders? Pitmaster Shane D back again with another recipe. Hey, I'm doing this one completely off the cuff this week, so we're going to rely on things up on the screen here, there, and everywhere, because I don't have my notes with me. I'm out here in the shed. We're putting together a new little lean-to put all our barbecue stuff in because we've ran out of room again. So taking a little break here on Independence Day. Just thought we'd film this real quick. So I just want to get this out. And I'm going to be traveling for the next couple of weeks, so I'm not going to be able to cook, but I definitely want to get this one filmed and in the can, as they say, before I get on the road and living in a hotel for a little bit. So what's up with this recipe? Broccoli and chicken and broccoli, however you want to describe it. Basically, if you've ever had beef and broccoli at a Chinese restaurant, that's the inspiration for this. Same sauce, but I do it with chicken because, I just had chicken. And frankly, my youngest son, Drew, loves chicken and broccoli, and while we were walking through the grocery store the other day, he's like, "Dad, we need to make some Chinese food at home." I was like, "All right, what you want?" He said, "Chicken and broccoli." I was like, "Roger that. That's what we cooking." So the real secret to this isn't a secret at all. It's just the sauce. I did my sauce a little different. My sauce has got, of course, ponzu, some honey, some ginger, some garlic. What else we put in there? Oh, sesame seed oil. And xanthan gum. Listen, before we get too far into the sauce, I know xanthan gum is not something most people have. I do recommend keeping it around, and here's why. It allows me to thicken even a cold sauce. It doesn't get as lumpy as using like a cornstarch slurry. It doesn't change the flavor, doesn't change the color like that cornstarch slurry does. So I just like using it. I made this sauce completely in the blender. I started with the whisk, kind of tasting everything. Once I got the balances right, I just put it in the Vitamix and whirled it up, and then just heated it up in a pan just for a second. It didn't really need it to bring it all together, but more or less, it's more parts ponzu and honey because you want it not quite sweet but a little sweet, and then you need some garlic, you need some ginger in there for some punch, and I love the roundness that the sesame seed oil puts in it. All the ingredients you're going to need for that are listed right here. It's just as simple as whisking all those together and heating it up. You can do that in a pan. You can do that in the microwave. It doesn't matter. It makes a lot of sauce. When I make this sauce, I really make a lot of sauce because I'll use it for a dressing the next day. I'll use it as a dip. I love it. I love the viscosity the sauce has to clean the stuff. It's right in between salad dressing and like a gravy, somewhere in between there. A thin gravy, let's be fair. It's not like a thick sludge. But that's what makes this dish. Once you have that all put together, set it aside, let it sit, let it hang out, and you can focus on your chicken. Now, when I make chicken and broccoli, I make a lot of chicken and broccoli. So all I put in it is to go on the grill. I take 5 or 6 big boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I just cut them into strips. Now, you could totally buy the tenderloins here. The tenderloins always have this weird connective piece that I hate in them, so I just buy the breasts that are usually cheaper, by the way, and flatter if you buy them in the big frozen bag, and I just cut them into strips. I season them with whatever your favorite chicken seasoning is. It doesn't matter. I think this was like Lowry's Perfect Chicken or something like that. I've had it for like 5 years, trying to use all of it, but you can use whatever chicken seasoning you want. You can even use barbecue rub, and it would taste fantastic. Give that a good coat. Throw it on the grill at 350. You're just cooking it until it's done. And I like it overdone, okay? I like some texture here. I want some charred pieces. I want some, almost crunchy pieces of that chicken. That's why, again, I go ahead and cut it into strips. Once the chicken's done cooking, I put it back on a different cutting board because, the first cutting board would be contaminated. And I cut it into little cubes like you would see at a Chinese restaurant. For my broccoli, I usually, when I make this, I'll grab like 5, 6, heads of broccoli, take all the little florets off, put them on a sheet pan. I'll take about a half an onion, dice it up, throw it on the sheet pan as well. Hit it with a little bit of that same seasoning that I used on the chicken. Not much. It doesn't need it because most of your seasoning is going to come from that sauce. It's so awesome. And I just roast it for at 350 until I like the color. I don't like my broccoli super wilted. I like it to have a little bit of crunch, a little bit of texture left to it. I also think when you pour over that sauce, it's going to wilt it a little bit. So I like to leave a little texture on it so I don't overcook it. So once all your ingredients are done, then it's just a matter of tossing all the kids in the bowl and mixing them up. And that's it. That's really it. It's so simple. It's a really super cheater way to do really good chicken and broccoli without breaking out the wok. I really love doing it. You could totally roast that broccoli on the grill with the chicken, especially if you got like a grill silverback and you got 2 racks, you have the room. Totally make that work. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't. Now that I look back at it, why didn't I do that? It would have totally made sense. The broccoli will take a little bit of smoke. The only thing I will say with the broccoli, when I'm roasting it, the last like 5 minutes, once it's like that pretty green color and texture I want, I'll flip on the broiler just for a second because I like it charred. I love charred broccoli. You guys probably catching that as a theme. It's come up a couple times already just in the 20-something videos I've done already. I do a lot of charred broccoli because it's just good to me. Anyway, once you have it all together, toss it lightly in the sauce. I like to hit it with a little bit of sesame seeds on top just for a little color difference. You could totally put this over rice. I didn't because I was skipping the carbs, but this is why I also make a lot of extra sauce, because sometimes I'll put this, if I am going to serve it over rice, I'll put the bowl together, rice on the bottom, the chicken and broccoli on top, and I'll pour that sauce over at the table, a lot of it, so that sauce soaks down into the rice, and it's so good. So good! What I love about this sauce, it's not super heavy on sugar. It does have a lot of honey, but at least it's natural. Honestly, dietary-wise, and what your body does with it as a carb, there's really not much difference between honey and corn syrup. I just like the taste of honey in this. But you're not using a ton of it. Remember, that sauce is getting just lightly coated on everything, and it's going to kind of slowly collect to the bottom of the bowl. So don't get too freaked out about the carbs in this. If I can still lose a pound a day eating this, believe me, there's no carbs in it, okay? So I'm cutting weight pretty hardcore and still lost weight eating this, so you can't go wrong there. I like it that the xanthan gum's gluten-free. It's just an all-natural, super clean recipe that you can eat. It's not technically keto-friendly, but at the same time, I don't really follow keto exclusively. I'm more paleo in that as long as it's a natural ingredient, I'm okay with it. I just don't go nuts with it. So that's kind of it, guys. It's a super short video. I hope you like the pictures that are in here. The presentation's everything of that dish. What I love about Chinese food is it always has color, and when it's done right, it always has beautiful textures and flavors. And Chinese and Japanese food are far and away my favorite things because of that. Having said that, I eat Mexican like 4 times a week, so maybe Chinese and Japanese food aren't my favorite. Something to think about. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you cook any of my recipes, please come back to the video. Let me know how it was. Let me know what you would change. Maybe I'll take your change, revamp the recipe, and put this out as something I do for another company later on as a finalized, really formal recipe where it's not me talking to you on the camera, it's me in a chef's coat doing this. Because what you guys are seeing is all the test kitchen stuff, the stuff that are just like ideas in my head. I just entered, won 3rd place for Kentucky for the World Food Championships, and I'm doing a lot of test cooking where it's like for a sandwich, even though I can't eat bread, in the chicken category. So I'm doing a lot of that stuff, just trying to get the wheels spinning and ideas flowing creativity-wise on what I should cook for that. So you're going to see a lot of those recipes end up here on this test channel, and me talking about what worked and didn't work in those recipes, and you will kind of chronicle my way all the way to the World Food Championships in November. So anyway, guys, you guys know who I am. Pitmaster to the Shane, to the D. They used to call me the DRE. That's right. That used to be my call sign in the Navy. Dre. That's what everyone called me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends. And happy Independence Day, folks. And be good to one another out there. Okay.